with more American-Cuban boxing in just a moment. All right, we're back live at ringside, Lola Event Center, and the Romero result. Pablo Romero did a job on Evander Holyfield in the light heavyweight classification, so the Cubans now lead by a score of 6-4. Of course, Romero is recognized as the world's best in the light heavyweight classification. Right now at ringside, we're between rounds of the heavyweight fight. And I want to tell you that as we pick up action, I'm hearing Sugar Ray and Leonard in the background still talking, Jimmy. We're very grateful to that young man. That's Henry Milligan, heavyweight. Princeton University graduate, multi-letter athlete, great wrestler, new to boxing, can be embarrassingly clumsy from time to time, but was elected the Athlete of the Year in his home state of Delaware. Just now a caution to Aurelio Toyo, who is a great fighter, the Cuban heavyweight. He clearly won the first round. The third man in the ring, a very familiar amateur boxing figure, Tony Filippelli from Utica, New York. Again, another caution to Toyo. Milligan will give you all he's got. He's a great competitor, fiery, beautifully spoken young man. Hasn't been an Ivy Leaguer in Olympic boxing since Eddie Egan back in 1920. But he's very raw, very rudimentary. Doesn't have the skills as the Cubans are pulling away in this dual competition. Remember, it's a competition that did not have in it the very great Mark Breland, who will be America's entry, I'm sure, in the welterweight classification, 147-pound weight limitation. These are the heavyweights, and it's a 201-pound weight limitation. Of course, the super heavyweight still to come. Philo Stevenson against Tyrell Biggs. And right back from a good right that Milligan took that hurt him comes Milligan. As you can see, there is an absence of professional class to Milligan's efforts, but he is steadfast, and the feeling is with his overall strength and competitive nature, he will turn out in the long run to be a good boxer. The dream, of course, to make the Olympic team. Somebody motioned out of the Cuban corner, but coaching from the sidelines. Filippelli sent him out. And you just saw what I meant about embarrassingly clumsy. That's what Milligan was as he stumbled, nearly losing his balance, going halfway across the ring. We'd like to alert our local stations along the line that at the end of this round, we'll take a station break. And look at that. He took a point from Toyo for that. He's been cautioning Toyo, but down went Milligan, and the inevitable appears to be happening. That's over. That's the end of this fight. No question about it. So, the Cubans lead by a score of 7-4. And with the score 7-4, we'll return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this from our local stations.
KVEW Channel 42, Kennewick.
The University in the Lawler Event Center. And still in the ring, the man who was knocked out by Aurelio Toyo, Henry Milligan, America's heavyweight from Princeton. And you'll watch the knockout now in slow motion. That right. And Milligan was expertly cared for. They had the lights in his eyes, seeing if he was recovering properly. And when they were satisfied that he had all of his sensibilities, here, of course, is the official announcement as to the result of the fight. Only when they were satisfied that he had all of his sensibilities did they elect to go ahead with the usual announcement and the usual Olympic ceremony, lifting the upraised arm of Aurelio Toyo. These Cubans are great fighters. And so, the scoreboard now. Cuba, 7. The United States, 4. And we are about to come to the climactic event, the super heavyweights, Biggs against Stevenson.